Welcome to Season 2 of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. This year, we're working on that energy. Join us as we talk midlife discoveries, spiritual awakenings, pursuing passions, reconnecting with the goddess within, and a whole bunch of other shit. Make sure to follow our socials and join us on Instagram Live Tuesday nights, YouTube Live Thursday nights. If you're looking for bonus content, episode archives, or just another way to connect with us, check us out on Patreon. Thanks for all the love and support. Now let's get to it. Since recording this episode, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has been confirmed by the Senate on Thursday, April 7th, with a vote of 53 to 47. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is now the very first Black female justice on the United States Supreme Court.
I can't. Hey, Mo.
Hey, girl.
How are you doing?
That's so cute.
You're so cute. Look at your little face.
I'm only happy because I'm talking to you. I'm very.
Oh, girl, stop.
I wasn't, but then I started talking to you. Now I'm laughing.
I know, we cracking up.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm making it through the chaos at my house. So good.
Right?
I'm doing
day
fine.
By day. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is fine. Everything is okay.
Yep. I got the giggles today.
Oh, I love it. Love to see. Rather than the cry, better than the cries.
Ooh, I haven't cried in a minute. I don't want to do that. I'm probably overdue. Do you ever cry on purpose? Sometimes I have
Girl,
to
we
just make
cried
myself
2
cry.
days ago.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That was a good cry though. I'm talking about the get it out cry. But
Oh, I do.
that was a happy cry.
Yeah, that was I don't know if it was, I cried about that yesterday again. I don't remember about what, it was somebody else. I'm like, all this Black excellence, I can't take it. We're talking about the Ketanji Brown Jackson Supreme Court nomination and Cory Booker. But just her overall. And I cried this morning. I saw the Persevere when she was talking about the Persevere.
Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you last night. Yes, that's beautiful.
Maybe we should do Black trauma, because I'm like, that reminded me of that's such a rare thing, and I see I'm going to cry again. It's just like, it was so beautiful to see that, because
she was crying, girl. She couldn't even get it out.
Right? So many times you get into these institutions or you get into these spaces and Black people become your enemy. They act like there's only room for one, just a scarcity mindset. You don't feel welcome. You don't feel a part of anything already. And then your own people will do you like that. And so to see someone leaned over and said, persevere.
We need to do that.
We need more of that. Like, imagine where we would be if we had that unity.
I also think, though, for people who don't know what we're talking about, Ketanji Brown Jackson was talking about her first year at Harvard, and she was walking through Harvard Yard and she was feeling very homesick and kind of out of place, not knowing if she was going to be able to handle just being away from home and being in that environment. Because she said she just felt very out of, fish out of water kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And she said like a middle-aged Black woman who was walking across the yard saw her and maybe saw something on her face or whatever, I don't know. But as they crossed, she leaned into Ketanji Brown Jackson and she said, persevere, and kept it rolling. I know, girl.
I can't.
But I also think
light worker, man.
Right? And you know what? Look at where she is. Probably because that woman said that to her. Mm-hmm. Like, you got this, persevere. And it's almost, I feel like, when you're peers,
it had to be significant because she mentioned it,
and she remembered it. It stuck with her. Whoever that woman is, like, I wonder if she remembers that moment.
Yeah.
Even.
We need to we should find her.
That's amazing. But I think that that's something that you and I in this journey have an awareness of now, of when we were in our 20s, it was crabs in a barrel, it was competition, it was whatever. But as somebody who's experienced and who's a little bit older, we can look at younger women, whoever, and see that they're trying to do something and it's hard, and we can give that encouragement if we're in a position to do so, like if we're there to say something. Because I think
I've never been
matters.
Crabs in a barrel ever. Like, I've always wanted unity, and like I've always been like excluded. Like, I've always been like not trying to be pulled down. Like, I've never been like in that kind of environment, and that just sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it falls in line with us. Just, can you be kind to each other? There's
right.
this has nothing to do with race, but as a mom with very young kids, 5 years ago, not even 3 years ago, I remember being in a Target and I had all three of my kids. One, I was nursing through the Target in a carrier, and then I had the other two in a double stroller. And I was putting things, it was a lot going on. And somebody came and said, "You're doing a good job." And I was like,
oh, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah. And she was just like, you're doing, you got a lot going on here, but you're doing it. And just to have that encouragement. Funny. Yeah.
That kind of thing I don't like that. Like, I hate that. It's like, first of all, you don't know me. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, you're trying to make me feel better. Like, this is fake. But yeah.
But sometimes it feels good to be seen. You know what?
Yeah.
I see you. I know you're struggling, but you're doing this. You're doing it.
Like, I would appreciate it, I think, if they said something like, "You got this," or something. What it's like, you don't know my life.
But I feel like a lot of people don't say that to mothers.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge
doing a good job.
At all. So
or they don't say it to young Black women. You know what? You got to persevere. Yeah. Just do it.
No,
you can
do it. It's just always like, you're never.
I believe in you.
You got to be overqualified in order to get the bare minimum. That's like the story. It's just always like, it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be tough. You're gonna go through all this bullshit, but you got to do it, and you got to
be strong.
You got to be strong, and you got to be better than everybody else just to get a little crumb.
Well, I think the persevere word and the whole stereotype of being a strong Black woman, I think in general, though, persevere should apply. It could be colored in a way to where it's seen as no, but the word, you know what I'm saying, colored in a way so that it applies in a negative way to Black women. But I think that word applies across the board. Anybody who is struggling, persevere, because that's the only way you're going to get there. Like Ketanji Brown Jackson's perseverance looks a lot different from whoever that vegan chef is or whatever, bad vegan, all the different people. But that's the way we got to make it through life. If you want to achieve anything of greatness, you have to persevere. It's going to be shitty.
Yeah.
And just like we saw over the last couple days with these hearings, it's shitty. There's still people out here trying to drag you through the mud, drag you, sully your name, all that stuff.
You can do everything you can. First they tried to say you're not, like they weren't going to get somebody qualified. Then they did someone overqualified. Then they start trying to find holes in that. It's like, it's never enough. And I'm like, I don't know what it's like. And I don't envy anyone raising a Black child, a Black girl, because it's like, how do you let this person be a child, let this person live, but also
build them up.
You're in a world where you got to let them know to persevere, but let them know that, there are going to be moments of weakness. They're human. And it's like, there's a lost humanity. And I can understand. It's like people get all outraged and these studies come out and people lack empathy for Black girls and stuff like that. But it's hard because it's like when you're told to be strong, be strong, be strong. And then you are strong. You're doing the thing you're told to do and groomed to do. It's still not good enough. It's not good enough, but it's also like fucked up. It's like messing up your mental health and reality. And I think that's where we get this hardness that you see, that's a stereotype in a lot of Black women that is true, this hardness and lack of empathy and things like that, the survival mode. That's why I think it was powerful for her to tear up and to show that side of her. Yes. Because she is a judge. She's, and I think it's different had Amy Coney Barrett cried, right? Because we used to the white tears. That's every day. But hey, you're trying to anger me. You keep poking at me about something that's completely not relevant to what's going on. I am not going to take the bait. I'm not an angry Black woman. I'm not some stereotype that you can kind of paint in the media, whatever. This is who I am. And these are the different sides of me. Right. And so that's something, it is a historic moment. It's Cory Booker. He started going in and I was like, boy, is he really going to, what is he trying to do? And then I started listening. God, right. Yeah. Right. I was rolling my eyes like, oh Lord, he just no questions. He was just going to speak. And then I started listening to what he was saying and I heard his voice cracking because he was getting emotional. And then I looked at her and she was trying to, wipe her tears. And I was like, hear it. Oh, and then the water, just the waterworks. It just hit me like, he had me crying too today because I saw the video, like I saw a clip and I didn't see it, like I heard it on the radio. And man, just all that whole thing, just wow, this is so monumental. And that's what protecting Black women looks like. Yes, Cory
Right
Booker. And I was
there.
like proud of that. I was like, because we had talked about, we watched Poetic Justice on the live,
Yep.
and we were talking about how, you know, it's always this narrative of Black men and Black women being combative. You got this
Yep.
Kevin Samuel stuff, and it's always like me against you. And it's, I'd love to see that Black man lifting her up like that, like the support.
And I think that also, we talked about how there is a knowing look.
Yeah,
and he talked about that
yeah.
with Kamala, he and Kamala, and they talked, what was the context? They were in the Oval with President Biden or something.
I forgot. But yeah,
they said something about we need to get a Black justice or something. I forgot what it was, but it was, they both looked at each other. And there's a shared experience.
Yeah, there's a knowing look. Yeah, and I think that's how we bonded, you know, like,
yeah, there's yeah.
Yeah, it's like things you don't even have to say, and you look and you just get it, you know.
That I think is beautiful. I really,
it's like
that's
spiritual.
Amazing. Yeah,
like,
there's a connection. There is a connection.
There are no words, there's no mind reading. It's just a knowing, like, connection, like.
Yep. Amazing. And I don't know if I said this before we started recording about the 1619 project. Did I?
Oh yeah,
the culture?
But I said to hold off. So what were you saying?
Oh no, I mean, I've had a hard time getting through it because there's a lot of stuff going on with the house. And so last night I made a point of laying down and just reading, put my phone down, whatever. And I'm still in the beginning of it. And it just talked about how Blacks who are descendants of slaves are the only true defendant here. That too, descendants of slaves are the only true quote unquote American culture, because, you know, during the Middle Passage, like I was saying earlier, their different cultures, their countries of origin, their lives, their names, everything got erased. And so they built a culture here in America of who they were, all of that. And so that's the only culture that's really been cultivated from scratch here on this earth, on this you know, this land, this country, whereas everybody else brought their culture with them.
Yeah,
there was none, you know. So there's a shared, you know, they talk about Creole, and a lot of that is a mix of English and how to speak to different people. I guess it stemmed from, you know, different tribes, different people, and it was a melding of how we can talk to each other, because we don't have shared language. They didn't have shared language. So I mean, I found a lot of it very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Black people are the vibe of the world. Like,
yes,
we bring the vibes. We bring the vibes.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It's
everything.
A vibe. Yeah.
Fashion, music,
culture,
everything. And you know, they also talked about music, about jazz and all of the stuff. And there came a point where there was a lot of disparity. There still is disparity in wealth and income, to where Black families didn't have musical instruments. I mean, it got to a point where, you know, jazz was one way, right? We had a big wave of jazz, and then there was no, like, maybe it was outpriced, whatever. All they had were old records, and that was the birth of hip hop. That was the birth of hip. I mean, it's creating. It's this creation.
Using your body, using the
it's this creation that's
innovation.
It's ever changing, ever existing within the Black culture of America, that is unique to Black culture here in America, you know? So I mean, I thought that was eye-opening to me, that's the only true culture that was created here. Everything else, I mean, I'm not speaking about Indigenous people, because that's a whole nother conversation, obviously.
But that was also brought over, you know, time and created here. Yeah.
But I just thought that was amazing. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. But we also talked about the profit off of Black trauma, right? Because we talked about, what we watched?
Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice.
So much.
But just in general, that seems to be a theme in these successful, and I'm putting that in quotes, successful Black movies portraying Black characters, is trauma. And that's what gets the awards.
Yeah.
That's what gets the accolades and the buzz.
It's like, you can do all these. And I think I was talking about the photograph, how that's such a beautiful love story.
I have that written down here. Yeah.
And I went to watch it, but it's like, it's a rental. Like, doesn't look like it's on any streaming service. So may have to.
Well, then I'm gonna have to wait
for the cost. Do it for the cost, for the culture. But I saw it in the theater. It was actually the last movie I saw before the pandemic. And it was just so beautiful. It had conflict, and that's required for movies usually anyway. So, but it was just like, not that F you in wood, like it was.
Oh, I hate the N word, the way they just thrown around like that.
And just thrown around, and then like it'll be in front of kids and stuff, and all this different stuff.
And it's unnecessary. Like, I don't know when it's ever necessary, but like it sounds so off.
But the thing is, it happens in real life, and so I can understand trying to depict that, but it's like, how? Come on, can we see something else? And what I would love to see, and I think the photograph demonstrated that beautifully, is to see just Black people existing, Black people having a story, having a life, and not all Black trauma. Yes, that is ingrained in a lot of us. Hell, I'm Black trauma, but it's like, that's not.
Hi, nice to meet you, Black trauma.
Anytime. But it's like, that's not our whole story.
I'm Black codependency. How you doing?
Like we are all like human beings, whole human beings, and they just always sum us up to these crackheads, these slaves, these mammies. It's always and that's those are tropes. Like, so mammy doesn't exist anymore, but then you have like the help. That was essentially a nanny. So it's just, a mammy, and it's just like, this trope, it keeps this a Jezebel, Hustle and Flow, Halle Berry played a Jezebel.
Monsters Ball.
Yeah, like, so you have all
Make me feel good.
We used to say that.
Nasty Billy Bob Thornton. Oh. and you know what? That's what she got celebrated for. All the work that she has done, that is what got her an Academy Award.
Right? It's insane. It's insane.
I just don't understand the obsession with slave movies.
Lupita Nyong'o, Lupita.
12 Years a Slave, Django. I don't understand.
I like Django though. You watched it?
I can't with the ease.
Did you watch it though?
N-word. Yes.
Oh, okay. It's good.
With the ease with which, and I'm watching it with a white person. That's what makes it uncomfortable. Like,
I would love to watch it with a white person. Did you watch Django? Oh, good.
Yeah, but that's Jamie Foxx, right? Django.
Yeah. That was like slave revoltish,
and the white savior bit in, I think it was 12 Years a Slave with Brad Pitt. Was that, or was it Django?
I refused to watch. So that's the one I refused to watch.
Okay, so because Brad Pitt shows up at the end and he's trying to act like that's not right what you're doing, and I'm gonna, white savior.
And it's like with 12 Years a Slave. Who was his name? I forgot his name. But that's a trope too. The Uncle Tom guy, Samuel L. Jackson. And it's just like,
he's played a lot of, what else is he? That's his job, I guess. But he's driving Miss Daisy. No, that's more. Wait.
No, that was Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
Look at me.
Oh, look at you mixing up the Black men.
I was like, Samuel L. Jackson too young or too early to be doing driving Miss Daisy. I like Samuel L. Jackson though.
I love him. It's just his uncle vibes.
He's spicy. I feel like he just be like his whole demeanor.
Go to sleep. What was that?
Yeah, go the F to sleep.
Yeah.
Or just in Pulp Fiction. I liked him in Pulp Fiction.
Oh gosh, I gotta rewatch that.
That could be a good one to watch.
Royale with cheese.
Oh man.
But, Training Day, Denzel Washington. But I think he also got one for Glory. So But isn't that was like Civil War or something?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. So it's just like, can we not? And then now there's this freaking play coming out by Claire Koss and John Jay in New York called Emmitt Till. Like, really?
I saw something about it. Yeah. Go ahead. What you were about to say. That's what I was gonna say.
It's supposed to be from like the white lady, like the accuser's perspective.
Which is like, okay, what perspective is that? I need to lie to cover my ass? Is that what it is?
And how is she not in jail? How is she not in jail?
Dead.
She's still alive. I thought she was still alive. Or when did she die?
I don't know, but nothing ever happened to her. She confessed before she died. I lied. I did all this stuff, whatever. She's dead, I think. Pretty sure.
Still alive, December 13th, 2021.
Really?
Yeah. Where did you read that she was dead?
I don't remember.
What's her name? Because I think that's the controversy, is that she's alive and she's not getting any kind of retribution. It's like, I feel like everybody wants to protest.
Carolyn Bryant Donham.
I thought that came up all up automatically.
This lady. Oh no, she's still kicking it.
Yep, I told you.
88 years old. Does she need to be locked up?
Lock her up. Lock her up.
I don't care how old she is. Ugh.
Right? Let's start a movement.
How could she live with herself right now? How has she done this her whole life, knowing that she's the reason a child was killed in such a heinous manner?
Right?
A child.
But I think that's just a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier, how Black women, are made to, are seen as this hard, impenetrable figures with no emotion. And then this, this takes, one tear, and this guy is dead,
and like that clip we were talking about, it's manipulation. It's not fragility. You're using it. You're using these tears. You're using this emotion because, people react to it. We can't have this white woman crying like this. That hurts my heart. I mean, to all the things we were talking about earlier on in this episode about KBJ and Cory Booker and, this moment, this steal my joy, but it's also like this history. And I was wondering when Cory Booker was talking, and it was so much emotion. And I was wondering what all the people in the room who could not relate.
They're probably like so awkward. Like
they were probably like, what are they talking about? Like, what is this? Like the moments like that. Tom Cottons and the Ted Cruz's and the who are the other Josh Hawley,
Blackburn,
all these Kennedy from Louisiana, all these people who have just been riding her about one case. I wonder what they were thinking about that. Like, do you not understand the depth and the weight of this moment? And here you are talking about racist babies, anti-racist baby, or whatever it was, belittling this. Yeah. Instead of actually getting to know who this person is and why she does or doesn't deserve to be here. They made a circus of it.
They did. At first, I didn't appreciate the softballs. I would do like, oh, they're just wasting time with these. I don't need to know that you like to crochet. But then after seeing the way they tore her up, it's like that, those softballs are needed. You need it. First of all, you need
to humanize her.
And
that's something that's been going, right?
Yeah. And also to show that she's a person, to show that she's in like more than just some position that she's been doing for all this time, but also just to bring it back and lower the tension and everything.
Yeah. And to give her a break. Could you imagine sitting there for tens of hours at a time?
I was like, I already know I can't be in the Supreme Court because I have to go to the bathroom too much. Like, every, what is that, 13 hours? at least 6 to 12 times in those 13 hours.
And all the time she had to say, thank you, Senator.
Oh, I loved it though. That's the shade.
Yep.
I said what I said. Any more questions? That's my favorite. Any more questions?
Yeah. And she smiled.
They made a meme out of one of those smiles. I'm like, that's so bad.
Are there some things that like every Black woman has ever felt when somebody is, just the face? And I think that this is kind of exemplary of like a lifetime of having to practice the skill of I can't pop off. I have to maintain my composure and be professional. And I'm gonna let them look stupid, let them act a fool, but I'm gonna keep myself, stay in my lane, like she says. I'm staying in my lane.
That's the thing about healing from codependency, because it's hard not being codependent, because it's hard when you live in a racist world where you can see these people that could be intimidating for someone, and that person doesn't belong on the Supreme Court, but
that's essentially what they're saying, right?
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
And the fact that someone who would be intimidated doesn't belong on the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
and she is just so strong about it. And also they look like idiots. Like
they do.
They look stupid.
But to some people they don't, which is scary. That's scary to think that there's some people who are like, yeah, get her on that.
Get that in word. Wait, you said you were looking at the news and someone said that monkey.
Yeah, it was on Facebook. I jumped on there to just see what people had to say about, I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was, I think it was Josh Hawley or something, after that first day. And it was like, well, she's going to make it anyways, but somebody's got to keep that monkey in line. And I was like,
wow,
what? Like, it's 2022.
So how stupid are you if a monkey can surpass you and all of that? That you must really be stupid then.
But it's also like, who are you trying to hurt with that? Like, because that's not really.
That's just ignorant. That's what I'm saying. But you got to be at a point of understanding. Like as a kid, like that probably would have made me cry. Like somebody called me a monkey. Now it's just like, you look stupid, you know, like,
like, what are you doing?
A monkey.
You're
like,
still a child. That's what that is. You have not matured past
baby
any point
brain.
A racist baby brain.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Racist babies. If you got to listen, if you didn't, Ted Cruz day 2,
Poor
I
Ted
think
Cruz.
it was. God.
With his nose, I can't look at him.
I never could look at
something
him.
wrong.
He disgusts me. I'm not trying to be superficial, but before I even knew him, like his face disgusted me. So
you leave Heidi alone.
What happened?
I will forever laugh at
when they were making fun of her looks?
When Trump was talking about how she was unattractive or whatever Trump said, you leave Heidi.
I remember
he tried to act brave and
then
bold.
he had to stand for her.
And then next thing you know, he's all up under Trump's, coattails,
exactly,
whatever.
Standing for him. Yep.
You let him talk about your wife any old kind of way, and then you went running back to him. I hope Heidi runs him at home. I hope she does.
She looks like she would run somebody.
That's why he needs to posture the way he does,
Yeah, he's just a bratty baby. Pissy baby, that's what I call him. He's a pissy baby.
But he for sure put me off Diet Dr. Pepper. I can't drink that anymore. As much as he was chugging that during the thing, I was like, I can't.
Oh, I've been not being able to drink that. I don't like sodas, really. Give me my bubbly all day, baby.
Bubble.
I don't think I can drink those much longer either, unfortunately.
Really?
The gas.
Hurt your stomach, tearing you up.
They're probably tearing me up, but this is just gassy. TMI, but it is what it is.
Gas is part of the human experience. Ooh-wee. Yeah, so I don't know, but we're about to have a Black female.
Yes, has it happened yet?
Supreme Court Justice. Yeah, I don't know when is. I mean, I know they're conferring and speaking about it behind closed doors or whatever they said, but I mean, this is exciting. And her family, her daughter, I swear that picture that's circulating
Manchin
all over.
says.
What does Manchin say? Because
Manchin says he will vote for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson, essentially ensuring her seat on the bench. Woo, woo, woo.
And then there's going to be some Republicans voting, supposedly.
They don't even need them, I think, is what the.
Yeah, but I mean, it's disheartening to see that, people used to be confirmed almost unanimously for either party, either side. Somebody's made it this far in their career. And now it's so politicized that you can't even vote for a qualified person because they're not nominated by your party's president.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's showing a problem.
And it isn't that against like the Supreme Court, like the vision of the Supreme Court. They're so conservative.
Right.
Isn't it supposed to be independent of all this politics and stuff?
Right.
So make it make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. Nothing will ever make sense. You can tell them, you can make a list, do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You do exactly A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They will change the list because they don't want anyone else to have power because they don't want other opinions.
It's a fear.
And fear-based. They live in fear. They thrive. They grow in fear.
Ooh,
and that's another thing,
girl.
When all this stuff is going on, like Oklahoma just passed a thing, like basically banning abortion. So now we got Texas, Oklahoma, like all these little things happening and people aren't paying attention. It's like, I try to look at what's going to impact me in the house. Like what's going to impact me
in my life,
some bullshit. Like, I don't care what you do, who you sleeping with or doing or whatever. That's not going to impact me. Like, and I'm not saying that it always has to impact me.
I mean, it could.
Like,
at some point.
It doesn't, like, and everything should not be about what impacts you, but what's for the greater good overall. And I think that's where people get lost. Like, everybody hates taxes, but you got to pay them. It's like, maybe they need to they definitely need to be doing better with what they're spending on and things like that. But
I think everybody agrees with that.
Right. They're responsibilities we have to each other and to society.
Yeah. To be a member, it's membership, to be a member of the United States of America. You don't just get to, nothing's free.
Nothing is free. It's unfortunate though, because it's like, people are, what do they say? What's that saying? Biting their foot despite their hand or something, what I'm saying?
Cutting your nose despite your face.
Yeah.
I never understood that, but yeah, cutting off your nose despite your face.
There's that concept of, you're so stuck in this, focused on, like those Obamacare people, a perfect example, the anti-Obamacare.
Yeah.
And, and then they started losing their benefits. They're like, oh, I lost my benefit. And they're like, oh, wait, I like Obamacare.
It's the people who didn't know that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like Obamacare, but they love their Affordable Care Act. I mean, that just shows the the expanse of the people we're dealing with. There are people who are very well informed, and there are people who watch their little 20 minutes of cable news, and that's where they get all their information, and then that forms their entire worldview. That's
or
scary.
Just like insular, like echo chambers.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn.
Why is it that we have to have a first for everything? We definitely do, but why is it that the first for everything has to set an example, and then what? Where do we go from there? We have so many firsts, but where are the seconds, the thirds, the fourth? If the point is leveling and having an equal opportunity for people, then why aren't we seeing the 10th, the 20th, the 100th? That's where the impact is seen. So yes, the first opens the door, but if the first doesn't open the door for anyone else, does it really matter? And then on the other hand, as the first, you're just trying to get by. You're trying to survive. You have all this extra scrutiny. How do you survive? How do you live your life in a way that's meaningful to you, impactful to the community, and still true to yourself? Are other people owed your door opening? A lot would say they do. They are. What do you think?
Yeah, that's, I don't know, but we do have
what's beautiful about this wonderful
fall.
world? I forgot. Remind me.
Oh, no.
Besides nature's beautiful, but people really
You need to go sign up for your Muay Thai or your jiu-jitsu
right?
or whatever.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Get that out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find some. I need to move my body.
I need to move my. There's a pole. I think I'm gonna take it in the morning, depending on. We'll see.
A pole
There's
class?
Pole class, yeah.
You just keep saying there's a pole. I'm like, a pole.
A
what?
pole class.
Ooh, I
Give me
feel
a
like I'd bust my
time. I'm
butt.
slow.
I would bust my butt doing something like that.
No, they teach you got to kind of.
I slipped in the shower this morning, girl.
Oh no. Slipping
so
in the shower.
And I was trying to dry off in the shower because I was freezing. I didn't want to get out. So I'm drying off, and I don't know what I did something, slipped. And luckily I, braced myself.
Yourself. You might need to get one of those handles.
But,
88 handles.
But it was one of those things. Get a handle.
Get your 88.
I need a grab bar, no shit bar. No, but I was like, when you think you're gonna die, there's that quick moment where you catch yourself like, oh my God. Whew.
Nah, I'll be like, yeah.
Let's go.
Damn.
No, I was like, I'm not going out like this. No, let me be clothed at least. Let me out here naked and passed out in the shower.
Shit my pants, anything goes when I'm dead. Anything goes.
No.
I know that used to be like the argument as a child for clean underwear.
Underwear.
Like, and it's just like, oh, so I'm gonna be ashamed when I'm dead? Like, I'm dead. Who cares? Ooh.
But what if you're not dead? What if they're taking you to the hospital? You're very much alive, but you got dirty draws on.
And I'm alive. I mean, that on the grand scheme of things, what's the draws? I mean,
and your EMT is fine.
As a child, as an
adult.
Oh no, as an adult. No, I'm saying as a child, they do that to kind of groom you as a child, so you won't wear clean. Do that as an adult. But I'm just saying, as a child, they should just scare you like about infections and things like that.
Yeah, that's a better way to scare.
Yeah.
But could you imagine though, as an adult, you had dirty drawers on, or you got your diapers on,
or you're on your period? Yeah.
Right. Well, that's.
I mean, I wouldn't care.
That is more acceptable because that's just natural. That's a part. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're medical providers, staff, whatever. That's normal. They probably don't even care about that. But I mean, if you got skid marks or some kind of, I don't know what people have up in their underwear, but if you got all that.
I mean.
What? I'm going to throw up. Ooh, I don't even know. I'm traumatized. Dookie booty. Lord. I cannot with you. Cut. That's cut out.
Yeah, right. Okay, you got me. See, I love you. That's why I love you.
Cut it out.
The disgust. Oh, sorry.
Cheeks hurt.
God. Oh, my sister. Oh, okay. Anything else about the Black trauma?
That's trauma. That's trauma. I think it's a wrap, girl.
Well, hey, we said we needed a workout.
I know my stuff.
I'm getting an ab workout. Oh God. See, I cry. I cry a lot. Maybe something wrong with my body.
Got leaky eye syndrome. Leaky eye.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note.
So we'll stay tuned and check and see, confirmation stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about on the live.
Can't wait.
I'm excited. Watch Django tonight.
That's something to be excited about.
Yeah, like Cory Booker said, we're not going to let anybody steal our joy. This is a moment,
right?
This is history, living history. So, yeah.
Whew.
Go girl.
Yes.
KBJ.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment.
Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. Persevere.